Hi everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another Minecraft episode on the AlphaCraft server. Today we're over at the Smarilioth base camp because we want to start work today, or I want to start work today on draining the outside of the Guardian farm, the Guardian temple, sorry, that Smurfy discovered and has been draining in his streams for the past couple of days or so. So we want to go and do that. I'm going to build a wall of sand on the outside and then make a flying machine contraption that's going to fill the inside, or fill the outside of the inside of the square with sand. You'll know what I mean when I start doing it. I didn't explain that very well, but basically we're going to surround the Guardian temple with sand, and then we're going to dig out the sand, and it's going to leave it's going to drain all the water around. Anybody that's ever drained a Guardian temple will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've never drained the outside of a Guardian temple, then stick around, and this is how we do it. But before we do that, I've got myself a buried treasure map which I've pulled out of that sunken ship over there. So I think to start with, I'm just going to pop off and get myself a Heart of the Sea, and then hopefully I can grab myself some Nautilus shells and we'll have another conduit, because you can never have too many conduits when you're draining a Guardian temple. So have a look at the map. I think I've got most of it. So if any of you have ever used a map before, up on the map is always north. So if we have a look at this one, we can see that we are sort of east, just east southeast kind of, or is it east east southeast, south southeast? I don't know. We're over on the east anyway. So we need to go northwest in order to get to the cross. So it's on one of the islands over that way, actually. So if I take off and put the map in my offhand and then take off from here, I should be able to fly straight to it. It's going to be over that way, directly east from here. West, directly west from here. There you go. So it's on the end of this island here. It's just about here. So somewhere down here, there's going to be a treasure chest that's got all kinds of goodies in it. I'm looking to see if there's an obvious place for it to be. Now, I'm historically pants at finding exactly where these are. I'm sure some of you will know exactly where to dig. Now, it looks like this is just off the edge of the island. I'd say it's about here. So if I dig down here, I've got myself a really decent shovel actually, so I'm just going to ruin this island by spamming around, and there it is. Look at that. That's not bad at all, is it, really? So I've got myself my Heart of the Sea, got some TNT, got some emeralds. I'll take all of it. Oh, we've got a creeper on the island. Like a professional. So I can throw that map away now. It's useless. I'm going to litter. Don't throw your maps in the sea, kids. It's bad. Bad for squid. And other marine animals, for that matter. However, throwing rotting flesh in there is probably good for them. Right, so I've got my redstone box. I've also got a box full of stone, which I may or may not need. I also want to take a couple of shulkers of sand to start with. I need to make a little platform. Let me get my stone out actually. Don't want to be messing about over there without stone. Or do I want to build it out of sand? I think I'll build it out of sand actually. So I'll put a load of sand in my inventory. Let me throw away that fish. I don't need a fish. Why did I pick up this rubbish? Don't need any of them. Don't need that. Don't need that. Won't need that. Could do without that. That I'm going to throw in there. That can as well. I have to throw the chicken. In fact, just throw it all in there, Frills. I don't know what you're messing at. So now we've got a load of sand to get us started. I think Smurfy's got a conduit over there already. So now what we need to do is whiz over there and find the bounding box of the temple, which is just on the outskirts of the temple. They're really easy to find on a Guardian temple because they are literally where the corners of the Guardian temple are. It's a little bit more difficult when you're trying to find the bounding box of a nether fortress, but Guardian temples are pretty straightforward. So if we skim across the surface, Murphy's already put some boats down. Right, so down here... Oh, there's a conduit. That's lovely. So this corner here is one of the corners of the bounding box. So I want to leave a gap. We want to leave a gap of 1 air block around the outside, just in case we want to build a wall. So now what I need to do is not get whacked by a guardian, and I need to start building a wall that way. And we need to build a wall this high all the way to the other corner. In fact, I'll go and mark the other corner out now, and then we need to fill all of this in with sand. So now I need to fill in from here to the other wall of to the other pillar of sand with loads of sand. Now you can do this manually, which I'm going to do just to start with because I need to get myself a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of a working area. What you need to do though is make sure that you're not dropping sand onto kelp or seagrass, which is what I've just been doing, because all that was happening there is the sand is breaking. So you need to... Oh! Rikey. Hello fella. Doing a bit of fishing. How did you miss me? You're rubbish with that rod, aren't you? So we need to clear out all of these seagrass and all of the kelp and everything going this way, otherwise it's just going to break my sand. I didn't realise there was a canyon down there either. That's going to cause me a bit of a problem. I might have to put a line of stone across that. I don't want to be filling that all the way up with sand if I can get away with it. And those guys pack a punch, especially when you're not wearing decent armour, which I don't have on me. So we'll try again. Let me see if I can lob some of this down now. Now, as I say, it's quicker for you to do this by hand, but it does mean you being here doing something. What I want to do is create an AFK thing, so I don't have to be here to do this. Because I'm fundamentally bone idle. Okay, so I've built a little wall here. What I need to do now then is get in the water and put down a line of stone. I've grabbed my stone box. I have grabbed my stone box. There's my stone box. Put down a line of stone over the top of that ravine, that canyon, because like I said, I don't want to be filling all of that up with sand. Hello, mate. How you doing? Oh, you want to be careful of magma. We've got that, and I think that's nearly all of it. Yeah, I don't mind filling that little bit up. If I don't do that, it's just gonna use a cajillion blocks of sand, isn't it? And that's no good to me at all. I'll worry about filling that in later. Oh, hello, fella. How you doing? Nice to see you. So now I need to set up some kind of machine that is going to push sand. Pretty rude of you. Push sand that way. Now, bearing in mind, a piston will only push blocks 13 blocks long. I think that it will push 12 blocks, which means it will push the blocks 13 blocks out because there's going to be a gap here. Yeah. So I need to put in a mechanism that is going to extend this line all the way down there. We'll worry about that in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you see, this is what I'm going to put up with. In fact, I'm going to build a wall around this, hopefully to give me a little bit of protection. Yeah, I can see you. So the main flying machine is going to start here because I want it to start filling in blocks that way from here. So I'll give myself a little bit of room. Grab some of those. I'm going to need a dropper. I'm going to need repeaters. Going to need some redstone. I'm going to need some of my lovely, lovely, lovely observers. So if we put a piston there like that, and then a observer like that. And then I need to put a bit of a delay on it. It doesn't have to be a great deal, just a little bit. Oh, hello. That's Tickles. Leave me alone. Redstone dust. There, 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 and there. Now when I put, I'm going to have to put a block there, aren't I? Otherwise you're just not going to leave me alone. So now when I put a block of sand over the top of that, which I don't have, come on. Block of sand there, it pushes out the piston. So I can stand here now AFK and it's going to push all of this sand that way, but it will only push it out 13 blocks. So we'll worry about that when that happens, and then I'll build a little contraption on top to extend this line another 13 or so blocks. Okay, so that didn't take long to push 13 blocks out that way. So now I need to make the extender. So if I grab, let me put down some sand. Grab sticky piston. Don't need my normal pistons now. I need a block of slime. I need a normal block, which I'll get in a second. I need a repeater. And that's it. A couple of blocks. Oh my word, just where I want to be. Oh, come on, fella. I mean, you've got a home to go to. Right, so if I stick a slime block there, that's going to grab the sand underneath it and push it that way. I'll try and explain how this works in a second. I'm going to need a... Oh, that's clever frills. I forgot that I was one block down. Got there for a minute. So if we have a sticky piston there, it's going to push the slime block out, which is going to push this sand from underneath it, pushing that block one block further along. It will drag this block back, but then when that pushes... Have I got this too low? No. But when that piston pushes this sand underneath here, it'll push that block out. It's going to be... I'll try and show you. I'll get replay on the go and see if I can show you it working in a second. But I need an observer there with a normal block on top of it. And I need a solid block there as well. And then a repeater on that block on 2 ticks. It has to be on 2 ticks. If it's only on 1 tick, it'll spit the slime block out and it won't draw it back in again, because it'll be a 1 tick pulse and it'll leave the block where it is. Now if I break the sand block underneath the observer, that happens. You see, it pushes out the sand, which drops the sand over the edge, but it will pull that back. Now when that gets pushed along again, it'll do the same thing, and then it'll do the same thing, and it'll do the same thing. Let's go and see if it works. Here's me giving it the big un, as they say. I want to see if it works. Clearly working, otherwise this piston wouldn't be pushing. Oh yeah, look, you can see it there. But I don't want to just stand here filling up my hand with sand. I need to put in some kind of mechanism that's going to spit sand at me every time I need it. And I'm going to do that using a dropper. Not a dispenser, a dropper. There it is, Frills dropper. If I put that dropper there and fill it with sand, and then fill the rest of my inventory with stuff that I can't, other stuff than sand. We'll use a stone. And then just put sand in that hand there. Now I need 2. Every time I place a piece of sand down, I should get another sand spat out at me in my inventory. works like a charm. So now I can stand here for a little while, AFK, like you do, filling in another 13 blocks of sand. And then as soon as we've done that, I just pop down there and stick in another extender. Perfect, now that's been done. Now what I need to do is go down here. I've put a line of blocks down here, a line of stone, because I need to put some pistons on this block here. Now it has to be on this block. I can't put them there because it's going to be pushing that line of sand. Okay, that was fantastic. Didn't take too long at all. Now we need to stick in some redstone to push these bad boys that way. But as you know, a piston, a bit of redstone will only carry a signal 15 blocks. So I can't just spam down redstone on top of this block, which would have been ideal, actually. But I can't do it. They've stopped bleating about it. Rules. All right, let's stick a torch on there just for the time being. So if I stick a redstone torch here, just as a temporary power source, and then start spamming down redstone dust, it's going to push those pistons out until it reaches the limit of the redstone. We're going to need redstone all the way down here, so I may as well put it down while I'm doing it. So now we need to go back and extend this signal. Now it's not just a case of sticking in a redstone repeater. That would increase the signal. However, it won't power that piston there, and I need it to power that piston. So what we do in order to be able to do that is stick in a couple of blocks to stop the water coming in, and then break that block there, put a repeater in the hole, which is going to extend the line, and then if I stick a solid block on top of that repeater like that, via quasi, it's going to power that piston. It won't do it straight away because in fairness, that piston isn't directly being powered. That block is being powered, but it's not powering that piston directly, which is why it's not shot out yet. However, if I take the power away and then power it again, it does power that piston via quasi. So that's how this extender line works. Brilliant. Has that gone right to the end? Perfect, it's gone right to the end. Now I need to stick in a system that automatically fires these pistons. I don't want to be doing it manually. Stick a torch on there actually for when it gets dark. I will be AFK around here. But to do that, I'm going to need a bit of sand on there. I'm going to stick in a monostable circuit kind of thing. If I use an observer just here, not there frills, there. Every time this line of sand fills up and gets to here, it's going to power this observer. But I don't want it to power twice. Once the sand reaches here, it'll power the observer. When the sand falls down, it'll power the observer. So I only want the observer to fire once because I only want these pistons firing once. And that'll become obvious when we stick the flying machine in. If it fires twice, it's going to break the machine. We don't want that. So in order to make that only fire once, I need to stick in a monostable circuit. So if I put that there and then put a block on top of it, when that fires now, it'll give out a 1-tick pulse firing the piston. That block will get shot up in the air and stay there because it's a 1-tick pulse. When the sand falls down and the observer fires again, there'll be no block there to transfer the signal from the observer into the repeater. However, it will fire the piston underneath, which will then drag the block back down again, resetting the system for the next time. If we stick that there like that, and then that's going to move, so there's no point putting anything on there. If we then run the redstone around into a piston, I need to reset this now. I need to reset it with a block. Frills. Perfect. So now I can run down the end and start filling this up. But before I do that, as I mentioned, I am going to have to get in there and get rid of all of the kelp, all of the seagrass, anything down the bottom. I need to fill in that hole down there, this canyon. Otherwise, we'll just be filling that full of sand. So that needs to be filled in. So I think I'm going to have to enlist my old mate Smurfy in on this, and maybe he can come around with a couple of potions of invisibility. I don't know whether they'll help. Certainly won't hurt. And we need to completely clear the inside of the area inside of here from kelp and seagrass. Okay, Smurfy and I have done quite a lot of work since you were last with us. So let me just run through what we've done. Firstly, we drank some potions of invisibility, and they really do work. You have to take your armor off. But you can swim around with impunity around these guys. They can't see you. They look at you, but they don't attack you. So their eyes follow you, but they don't attack you. So we've gone around there and cleared all of the kelp and the seagrass from the ocean monument. I've also put a line of blocks across there. That marks the external, the far end boundary. That's where all the sand is going to be pushed to. So we need to fill all of this in with sand. I've also filled this first section in with sand. I think there's 13 blocks there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's the push limit for those pistons. So now we need to put in the flying machine to take it the rest of the way. And Smurfy's also been out and collected a boatload more sand. And he's built that. And he's filled them with sand. So I don't know how many are left full of sand. I'm guessing still quite a few. So that's brilliant. That's going to keep me AFK'd and going for a long time. I've also covered over the conduit in the middle, because when the sand gets pushed over, if I hadn't have covered it, when the sand gets to the middle, it's going to fall inside. It's going to break the conduit, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I've covered that over. I've also covered over the entrance part. Now you may know, you may remember. You may not know, but at the front of an ocean monument, that piece there that's grey, that's now stone, is open, which means that the guardians that spawn above, because guardians will only spawn between sea level and the base of an ocean monument. They won't spawn underneath. So any guardians that you actually see underneath a sea monument have fallen down this gap here that's at the front. They've spawned at the top and they've just fallen down, and then they swim underneath. Because I've blocked that off now, all the guardians spawning at the top can't get underneath. I mean, they can spawn at the top, they can swim out, drop down and then swim back under, but they won't spawn at the top and then fall straight down underneath, which means that once this is completely filled with sand, we're not going to have guardians under the bottom when we're trying to drain that as well. Because that would be almost impossible to do with all of the guardians being spawned in such a tiny area. But anyway, that's what we've done so far. So my next job now then is to add the flying machine, or flying machines to be more specific. Bog standard flying machine. Don't know how to make one. They're easy. Trust me. Flying machine. Sorry, that there and there. I'm going to stick a furnace there and one there for the time being. Furnaces are removable, so this just won't take off and disappear into the sunset, which would be a bit of a problem. Now I'm thinking about it, I am going to have to lower that, otherwise that's going to break it. So thanks for pointing that out to me, guys. I appreciate that. Fabulous. I thought I'd got everything I needed. I'm going to waste my potion. And now we need some observer blocks, or an observer block just there, and then we're going to need an observer block around this side, like that. So now when this gets updated, this flying machine is going to take off. It's going to whiz that way, and I need to do that with all of them. And then when it does take off, it's going to drag this sand underneath it. This won't work because there's sand here. So I need to get rid of that sand first, but it's going to drag this sand underneath it, but then it's going to drop it over the edge. It's going to go to the end and it's going to come back again. So what I need to do now, I need to find the exact spot over there that corresponds with this block, and I need to put a return station behind the back of that block. So if I press F3, look at it, you can see it's the Z coordinate I need and not the Y one, because it's the Z coordinate's not moving. So the Z coordinate I need is 6245 level 64. 6245 64. So 6245 level 64 is that one. So that's where the return station has to go. And the return station is just a bog standard. Going to be far enough. Need to go one more. I'd rather build it out too far than not far enough. Now the return station is really straightforward. It's going to be a bud switch, that there, and then a redstone block on top of it. And then in front of it, we're going to need a block. Now, every time a block hits that piston, that happens. So that's a bud switch, a block update detection switch. If anybody asks you, that's what one looks like. And I also need to put an immovable block behind the back of the piston, because without the immovable block, it's just going to push everything that way. So that should allow the flying machine to get to here and then fly back again. But as I said, we'll have to move these blocks. Now to start this running, why can't I get out? To start this running that way, we need to update this observer block. I'm going to do that using a a trapdoor. I was going to use a fence post, but I might as well use a trapdoor. So if I grab a normal block, as soon as I put the block on top of there, this should, all things considered, take off. Brilliant. You saw it drop the sand off the edge. Now it should get to the end and then come back again. Oh, I died, by the way. I died. I got. This is why I've got no levels. I swimming about, clearing the stuff up down there. Invisibility potion ran out. I'd got no armor on, obviously, and I died. So you saw the piston bounce up and down. That's the bud switch doing its job. And this makes its way all the way back over here again, and this will continue to work, filling up. It's not a quick process, but it's an AFK process, which means we can set this running overnight, and then I could just hopefully come back in the morning, and it's all going to be filled in. Won't that be wonderful? So now I need to build more of these all the way down there, and I need to put the return stations over on the other side. Okay, that's that done. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but that's all in. All the returns stations are in, and they should be in the right place. There's no reason to suspect they won't be. They look okay. Each one of these pistons is 10 blocks away from the other one, so I've just counted 10 down. That was pretty straightforward. I've left the furnace there, the immovable block there for the time being, because now it's time to put in the system that's going to fire these off in the first place, and I need this to start working when the sand gets pushed this way. So as soon as this sand gets pushed this way, to here, I need these flying machines to take off. So if we put an observer block, so if I stick a block there and then there, what I need to do is get power onto this block. Sorry, power onto that block. And that way I can power these trapdoors. This is why I've had to leave the furnace there, because while I'm putting things on top of this observer. If I didn't, it would take off. So the power is going to power that. It's going to raise the trapdoor, and that's going to set the flying machine off on its way. So that's the block I need to power. Like that. So now if I run a line of blocks all the way down here, I can then put the redstone and the insta repeaters on top of this. Actually, what I do need to do is probably stick in a repeater here. I'll put a blob of dust just there, and then a repeater next to it. I need to sort of slow the pulse down slightly. I don't want it to be just one tick. We do that, and then I can stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's going to power that one. And then here I can start putting in the insta repeater, and these are fantastic. Learn how to make these because they are super useful. It's a block this redstone line, when powered from that, will fire this or power this block, which will power that block that's got a redstone block on it. Like that. I'm going to have to update that. That's going to like a monostable. That's like a like we've got over there, like a bud switch, or this is like a bud switch. And if I put a block there, that'll power everything, and that will extend the line now another 15 blocks. So I can now do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not quite going to have enough, so I'm going to have to put another one in here. No biggie. A block, piston, redstone block, and then my redstone. So now we've got all that in. If I put a pulse through this piston, the observer down the end here, all of these should pretty much fire instantaneously. Brilliant. So now we just need to remove the non-movable blocks from here. Taking my life in my own hands here by coming this side. I'll leave the furnaces, I'm not too worried about those. So now, with all of them moved, if I break this block here, this should push these blocks that way, which should start this off and running. And then all of those should go down that end, and then they should all come back again. Moment of truth, not tried this yet. See what happens. Off they go. Not sure why that's left there. Is that... Are we suffering from ghost blocks again? I thought we'd got rid of that. But we got rid of ghost blocks. But anyway, that looked like it worked. Soon find out when they all come back again. I've missed a block of slime out there. Perfect. So if I do it again, exactly the same thing should happen. And we'll check to see if there are any ghost blocks knocking about. There you go. And as I say, they pull the sand to the edge and then just drop it over the edge like that. Now this does mean, using this method, it does mean the middle is going to fill up a lot quicker than the outside. So sooner or later I am going to have to put some kind of mechanism over the other end, which... Oh. Sorry. Which returns the sand that gets dropped over the other end. If I don't do that, this is going to break, but that's going to take quite a while. That's not going to happen soon. Oh. Couple of hits. Look, full armor and a couple of hits. And I'm down to a few hearts. So I'm going to run up there and I'm going to stand AFK. Well, I'm not going to be AFK. I'm just going to push some stuff in here and make sure it works. And then I can go AFK. And go and get a drink or something. Okay, so I've been AFK overnight and then several hours after that. And some of you may have noticed in the past couple of clips, I've had the default texture pack on, the default shader pack on. And the reason for that is that I've been having a problem with the game crashing. And it's being caused by batching chunks, or the error code was batching chunks. I did a little bit of investigation about that, and it turns out that that's an Optifine problem. So if you're having the same issue where your game crashes and your error log shows that it's batching chunks, then try and load the game without Optifine. And I did that and it worked great. I was able to AFK overnight and hopefully most of the temple has been filled in with sand. But when I tried to do it with Optifine running, it just kept crashing. It waited. It lasted a couple of minutes, or it lasted 15-20 minutes or so, and then it would crash. But since I've changed Optifine and got rid of Optifine, which meant that I had to use the default shader pack, when I started doing that, it worked like a charm, and hopefully we've filled up the Guardian Temple. However, while I've been AFK, something strange has happened. Go on, you see it? You see? Of course you can see. Turns out I've been attacked by the obsidian monster. Now I know I could probably dig that. Yeah, I could dig that out, but I'm not going to. Somebody's put this here for a reason. Fortunately, I've got a decent pick. If I hadn't got my decent pick on me, this would have been really bad. As it stands, it's still not great. But I'm not going to cry about it. However, I do want to know who's done this. Piggy, me and you are going to have words about this, mate. However, at the moment, no harm, no foul. But I can't let this ride. I can't let this ride, Piggy. We'll be having a chat about that. Anyway, let's go and have a look at... Oh, should I wait? Let me wait and sleep. And then we'll go and have a quick look at how this is doing. And it looks like we filled quite a bit of it. Now, I was worried that it would get to the end and then break. We might have... I think we've got away with it. We've got away with it because it's not quite made it to the end. Hello, mate. Might have done. But as I mentioned, the middle will fill up quicker than the outside because the middle's got the structure in it, so it doesn't need as much sand to fill it up. Whereas on the outside, over here, it's just got empty space to fill up. So I do need to come and maybe do this manually. I don't know. Maybe do it manually. However I do it, I've still got a little bit to fill up. But I think we've got the workings. I think we'll get Smurfy in here now. I think we'll start digging this out and then we'll decide what we're going to do with it. So I think we'll call it a day for today then, everybody. Thank you very, very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And don't forget to check out all the other alphas. They are all fantastic. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.